Welcome to InCabin from the creators of AutoSens. InCabin connects the global community of automotive interior specialists working on in-cabin safety, comfort, and productivity solutions through industry-leading events and knowledge sharing. Today, we are speaking with Don Ehinger, CEO of Apollo Optical Systems. And Don, welcome to InCabin. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So, Don, tell us a little bit about Apollo Optical Systems and give us an overview of the work you're doing today.
Thanks for the questions. Apollo is a Rochester-based company that specializes in polymer optics, and optics is really the key word. We were founded by industry pioneers in diffractive optics, single-point diamond turning, and ultimately polymer injection molding. Mostly, we help customers develop solutions to their optical problems by utilizing our people. We work across major industries, not only automotive, but including life science, semiconductor, defense, and AR/VR.
Don, you mentioned polymer. So, how are polymer optics being used specifically in this automotive sensing space?
Well, it's very interesting. It's an exciting space for us. So our customers within that space have applications including driver monitoring, side object detection, in-cabin sensing, LiDAR, heads-up displays, and directed lighting. So in each one of these unique applications within the vehicle, and specifically in the cabin, they use optics to optimize the performance of these systems.
Don, you mentioned your customers. Take us through a typical project and tell us about some of the pain points your customers have and what you're helping them to ultimately solve.
Absolutely. So most of our customers intuitively understand what they need, and they have an understanding of optics, but we help them refine a solution in polymer or plastic to produce a component that meets their requirements. Typically, polymer optics are efficient. Um, we help them produce parts that come at a high yield and are cost effective. Those are some of the advantages of polymer. We do this through a robust DFM, or a design for manufacturing process. And because our customers may not be classical optical experts, we provide that for them. So we are experts in optics. We're experts in molding, diamond turning, thin film coating, and metrology. And these are really the pieces that you need to produce a part that meets most of our customers' expectations.
We're speaking today with Don Ehinger, CEO of Apollo Optical Systems. And Don, you may be reading my mind here with this next question, but automotive engineers are probably already familiar with the idea of plastic injection molding. It's a term that we hear and see quite frequently, but can you explain the difference then between what Apollo is doing and providing versus maybe the traditional methods of injection molding?
Yeah, I can, and it's an important distinction when we're working with folks in procurement that are in charge of procuring parts like these. They don't always understand the difference between a standard plastic injection molded part and what we would call an injection molded optical part. It's important to know that distinction. So in a modern car is filled with all types of these parts, but there are a few companies that specialize like we do in producing optics out of plastic. So polymer optics, they perform like traditional glass optics, but they have some unique benefits like lightweight and in larger volumes that the automotive industry would use, lower costs. And they have the ability to incorporate different features like mounting tabs, or features that you wouldn't typically find in a spherical optic. So in the plastics industry, companies like Apollo that produce optics have specific engineering expertise and metrology tools to inspect and verify that our parts meet their requirements. And this is what separates us from a traditional injection molding company. We have to have certain level of engineers that understand how to interact with these customers from an optical standpoint. And we have a unique set of tools to produce optical surfaces on the part and measure them. So, our customers typically require tighter tolerances than a standard injection molding part. So, we often spend a bunch of time when we're just engaging with a new customer to explain to them the difference between what they might know as a traditional injection molding company and somebody like Apollo that focuses on optics.
John, I think it's so fascinating to have you part of our in-cabin event and to bring this, into our event, especially for our attendees, our in-cabin, our co-location, AutoSense, and in-cabin Detroit in May downtown at the Huntington Place. With all of this being said, Don, what else is unique about Apollo Optical Systems? I know we've covered quite a bit here that differentiates you, but what else would you like to add?
We're very excited to be part of this industry, specifically in cabin and in cabin sensing. Vehicle safety continues to be a top of mind subject for automakers. Driver monitoring systems communicate today with airbags, and features such as multi-stage deployment airbags, occupant position sensing. These are all great improvements to what used to be a standard driver monitoring system or an airbag. And as autonomous vehicles continue to move forward towards levels 4 and 5 and greater, the need for additional photonic components is also increasing. So all of these sensors incorporate some sort of polymer optics. So this automotive space for us is really a great place to be.
Speaking with Don Ehinger, CEO of Apollo Optical Systems. Don, thank you for being with us and being part of our in-cabin event. Thank you for sharing your expertise and thought leadership. Of course, I look forward to seeing you in Detroit, but let's sit for an interview like this again one day sooner, hopefully, rather than later. But thank you for being with us in the meantime, friend.
We're really looking forward to that week in May, and we can't wait for it to get here. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to your audience.
For more information on Apollo Optical Systems and to find out more about our upcoming events, see the links in the description or visit InCabin.com. That's InCabin.com. And for more in depth interviews like this, subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow InCabin on LinkedIn. In Detroit, on behalf of InCabin, I'm Carl Anthony.